Millions of families and professionals will touch the child welfare system this year alone, and it's the same every year. And this is the truth. Our system is complicated, it's confusing, and it's difficult to navigate. I'm your host, Shanelle Dupree, and this is Navigating Child Welfare. Because I don't know anyone who has navigated a system confused and has achieved the best possible outcome. And the outcomes are not just simple metrics. We're talking about families, we're talking about communities, and we're talking about impacting generations. So hug your loved ones a little bit tighter and let's dive in to make connections, gain clarity, and navigate the child welfare system well. Do you even think it's possible? That was the question I asked a colleague about a project we needed to work on. This project that we needed to work on was a directive from our boss, and I was sharing what was required of us. And every time I spoke, I was met with, "This has never happened before. We just haven't done this in our division." Or, "Let me tell you all the reasons why this won't work." And then finally, "They're asking too much." Finally, I stopped and just said, "Do you even think this is possible?" And she didn't. She said she did, but her actions showed the opposite. This reminds me of how we can operate in the child welfare system. We often use extremely depressing and downtrodden language to describe foster care and the child welfare system. We say it's broken. Heck, I've said it was broken. And I'm reframing that. As I am launching the Sinking Child Welfare Program, which is a national program to simplify the system and reduce confusion in child welfare, I'm spending time listening to people involved in child welfare, every part of the system. What I'm hearing is from families is that it's confusing, that it's harmful, that it's scary, that they don't feel like they're a part of the process. And when I speak to the workforce and volunteers, I hear them say that they're overwhelmed, that they're dealing with burnout, compassion fatigue, and not knowing how to truly help. Do you even think that better is possible? This is the question that we have to ask ourselves, because if we do, we would modify our behavior. If you want something different, we have to do something different. I think we've all heard that before. So when we continue to do the same trainings, the same processes, the same workshops, it's going to lead to the same results. Families need clarity. Volunteers need connection. Workers need a network of support. Currently, child welfare is operating from a space of blame and shame. We blame parents when they become overwhelmed with societal problems such as lack of housing and poverty that can lead to neglect or be mistaken for neglect. We expect families to understand the foster care system quickly, and we become impatient with them when they make mistakes. Then those mistakes are documented and shared in court for all to see and hear. We shame workers who can't manage the complex dynamics of a family, even when the family couldn't manage the complex dynamics of a family. We place unrealistic expectations on a system that was never meant to replace a family. Volunteers are trying to help, but they're unclear of the rules, of the policies, and the procedures, and there's not a clear space to understand those things. And it feels like it changes with each new case that they become involved in. To believe that it's possible means that we do something different. We can't expect different results if we're doing the same thing. When I made the transition from high school to college, I had to operate differently. I didn't realize this, but I found out quickly. I would attend all of my classes, even the ones early in the morning. I would listen and take notes during the lectures, and then for the test, I would study my notes and, believe that I understood what was happening. I remember I got the results back from my first test, and I received a D+. And I thought I did everything that I knew to do, and I couldn't figure out what I did wrong, why I didn't score a higher grade. So I went to the professor, and he began asking me a few questions, and he asked me about some reading that was assigned for outside of class, and he indicated that it was located in the syllabus. It's like a light bulb went off. I said, the syllabus. It was new to me, right? This document that outlines the expectations and assigns additional reading outside of class. In high school, I was one of a few valedictorians, and the method that I used was the same. I attended classes, I paid attention, and I studied my notes. That got me an A in high school, but in college, it got me a D plus. I realized quickly I couldn't do the same thing and get the same results that I wanted. After I understood the syllabus and its importance in college, I read that syllabus and I read those assigned readings and found that most of the test material was located in the reading outlined in the syllabus. Ultimately, I ended up doing well in that class. And in the same way, when we think, oh, well, I told the family about what they needed once, or I'm treating the family like I would my own family, it's not the same. It's different. We're not in high school anymore, and more is required and different is required. But the good news is that people who work, volunteer, and are involved in child welfare do not have to do this alone. Sinking Child Welfare is a national program that will build partnerships within the child welfare ecosystem, use frameworks and tools on how to navigate conflict, and build trust by having webinars monthly that answer families and volunteers' burning and important questions. Sinking Child Welfare fills a gap, an important gap in our collective work to see families thrive. I'm committed to families thriving. And if you're involved in this work, you're committed to families thriving. Yes? It's because we know that this is community work, and even deeper, it's generational work. And so if you are interested in doing something different, learning about a way to build partnerships, navigate conflict, and build trust, I'm having a session to share the details of the Sinking Child Welfare Program on Wednesday, January 7th at 9 a.m. Central Time and Thursday, January 8th at 4 p.m. Central Time. These sessions will each last about 45 minutes. Pick a session. Both of them will be the same material, so just pick one and learn more. I'll also include a link in the show notes to sign up to the newsletter. I'm so excited about launching a solution in 2026, and I can't wait for better because it's possible.